Hey, what's going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another match preview video. Now, it's another Friday night game this week against Brentford. Why we're playing on a Friday night, I'm not actually too sure. I don't think it's on telly, I might be wrong. But at the same time, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Tomorrow is my last day at work before I break up for the Christmas holidays. It's always fun under the lights. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. I feel like this is the start of Christmas tomorrow night and I can get into the festive mood because I don't really feel it at the moment, except for the Lynx Africa gift set that you can see just over there. By the way, a massive thank you to everyone who did watch that Darren Huckabee podcast. It got some good feedback. If you haven't yet seen it, then please do check it out. I think Hucks proves good value. An hour's sit down with an absolute Norwich City legend, I think, is good value to anyone. So if you do want to watch something over the festive period, then please do check out that Huckabee podcast. But let's get on to the Brentford game. And well, it's must win, and yes, it is a must win game, and I've myself have used a lot of excuses this season. Norwich City fans have used a lot of excuses this season, and I'd probably say Daniel Farke has used a lot of excuses this season, and I think that is acceptable to a certain extent because look, the change in regime we all knew was going to take time, and it probably has taken more time than first expected, but I'm kind of okay with that. I feel like we had to take the risk, we took the risk, and we have to commit to that risk. I know there's a lot of people who don't agree with me, and that's also completely fine because let's not, kid ourselves. We're 16th in the championship table, and if you want to look at it on form, we're only going in the wrong direction. So that's not positive. I'm not deluded. I know a lot of people call me a happy clapper, which I'm okay with. I think I'm more realistic. I was certainly not a happy clapper last season. I was Alex Neil out for a long while when a lot of people weren't. So I just like to look at things how I'm an optimistic person in life in general. So naturally that kind of goes into football. But I still feel optimistic with Daniel Farke. I still feel upbeat, and I still feel like this will work with time. But let's also not forget, we can blame Daniel Farke for certain things, and we can blame Stuart Webber, but this mess was left by Jez Moxey, Dave McNally, a slight lack of investment maybe from Delia Smith, and that's not her fault. She doesn't have the money. She's invested everything she can and has saved this football club. But if we are looking to move on, sacking your manager probably isn't the option, and maybe you do have to look at external investment and investment into the football club, because at the moment I can only see that's the real change, and that's the only thing that's going to take us forwards if that's what we want, and that's another big risk, and that's another whole chat. This game though is a must win, and we've made it must win, and I'm sick of excuses, and I don't want to hear any excuses. We have to win this game. If we don't win this game, it's not good enough. We are not, well, we do deserve to be 16th in the championship table. That's exactly why we're there. But we are better than that, and the team we have is better than a 16th place championship side. If we were 16th place and we were punching above our weight, or that's where we were meant to be, I'm fine with that. But when you've got the likes of Alex Pritchard, James Maddison, Nelson Oliveira, whatever you say about him, he's a good championship striker, Tim Closer, Angus Gunn, Grant Hanley in your squad, that's not a 16th place championship side. We go up against a team in Brentford who are currently 1 point above us, I think 2 places above us. And yes, they're a decent side, they score a lot of goals, but at home, you have to be winning them games. You have to be winning most of your home games. And this Christmas period really is make or break for Norwich City. You do well, and you're right back in with the shout of the playoffs. You don't do well, and you really are in a relegation battle. Whatever way you look at it, you are in a relegation battle, because if we struggle over this Christmas period against Burton, against Birmingham, against Millwall, and this Friday against Brentford, then you are losing to teams in and around you, and you've lost to teams above you, and you are near the bottom of the table. That is a relegation battle. So don't kid yourselves here. We are at the moment in a fairly sticky situation, but I fully believe that I think the squad is together. I think if any of you read the article published by The Independent, I think today, it was published, about there being sort of player turmoil because of Daniel Farke's training regimes. That is absolute nonsense. Of course there's going to be players upset. Them players upset are probably the players who Daniel Farke doesn't deem good enough, and we've still got some of them players, or certain players that maybe want to leave in January who are kicking up a fuss. It is fundamentally obvious that we weren't fit enough as a side last year. I was criticising the team for that. Loads of you guys were. pundits were, what do you do to change fitness levels? Well, you increase the intensity of the training regimes to make your players fitter. And yes, people could say, well, we've looked slightly, you know, turgid at times and slightly slow. I don't think that comes down to fitness, because in terms of the last 15 minutes played in games, we've actually done quite well. Where we have struggled is the kind of setup in which we play, and I don't think that comes down to tiredness going into games. I think that just comes down to a slight naivety when it comes to tactics. So I wouldn't read anything into that article. I think we've got a very together squad, and from what I've heard, we've got a very together squad, and that squad is willing to fight for Daniel Farke. And it is very rare in which a team is struggling as much as us, yet Daniel Farke has fundamental backing, and rightly so. And I think on the whole, maybe it's faltered slightly in recent weeks, but on the whole, Daniel Farke still has the full backing from Norwich City fans. However, we can't get complacent with that. We have to realise that we do need to start winning games, and if we don't do well over this Christmas period, then questions do have to be asked, and I'm sure they will be asked if we struggle. But I'm feeling confident. I don't have the right to, but I am feeling confident. Hopefully, we pick up all 3 points, because that would be a lovely way to start the festive period. Anyway, I'm going for a 3-1 Norwich. 3-1 Norwich. If I was a betting man, which I'm not really, that's what my £2 would be on. 3-1 Norwich. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Is this Christmas period make or break for Norwich City, or do we still have time? And also, with the 4 games over the Christmas period, Brentford, Birmingham, Burton, Millwall, how many points do you want from them games? For me, it's a minimum of 10 points. An absolute bare minimum 10 points. Really, we have to win them all. No pressure. See you on Friday at Carrow Road. See you later.